The 2CV Racing Championship. 24 hours, non-stop, for nearly 1,400 miles around Snetterton in Norfolk. This is the story of the 2024 edition of the race. Using modified versions of a Citroën Classic originally designed to help French farm workers move about, competitors race to complete the most laps within an entire day. Heavy rain greeted the teams on race day. Travelling across the North Atlantic, the remnants of Hurricane Ernesto had arrived.
You can feel the car moving a little bit better, I think. So when it's here, the car is sliding quite a lot of the time, which is quite good fun, but it's not fast. So all the way around the first corner, that's sideways most of the way around there. Corner in the last corner, it's sideways pretty much all the way around there. And then when you're changing direction for the last corner itself, your car's sideways one way, then the other way, so you can get it straight. So it's, and like I say, it's great fun, but it doesn't make you any faster. So, and in the rain as well, where you get grip on the track is very, very different from where it is in the dry. So if you try and clip the apexes in the rain, there's so much rubber and what would be in the dry, very sticky stuff. It's very slippery in the rain, so you find you're going really, really wide on the circuit. So your lap's probably, I don't know, 100 metres longer in the rain than it would be in the dry.
On just lap 14, the number 79 Lions Hansgrohe car suffered an engine failure, repeating its dramas of the first hour of the race last year.
That went up between first and second. It's 3.3 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah.
Having attempted a fix on the pit apron, the decision was taken to change the engine, giving mechanics the chance to show off modifications that allow for record speed fixes. Just 8 minutes after work started, the car headed out back on track, close to the rear of the field.
I think so. We've had a couple of issues to start with where we weren't sure which bits were working and which bits weren't. So, and then we left it very late to fuel the car and get ready to go to the grid. So there's quite a lot of sort of last minute activity to make sure everything was adjusted and ready to go. And then got out on the grid, really nice, raining, which is a bit unpleasant. So the rain made it very, very slippery. And quite challenging because as soon as you've got a car in front of you, there's so much spray, you literally can't see where you're going. So you end up following their brake light or their rain light just so you know where they're going. So if they drive off the track, so do you. So then about 12 laps in, I think it was. So we're doing quite well. So get some consistent times in, and then the engine broke. So luckily it didn't completely destroy the engine, it's just that it broke one of the rockers. So we managed to leave it back into the pits. The guys thought it might have just been an electrical problem. We tried a couple of things out on the paddock, on the pit lane itself, that didn't work. So then we just decided it's quicker to just change the engine. So we brought the engine in, 10 minutes later, the new engine's back in, I'm back out on the track. And I did think that as I went back out, because the forecast was going to get a little bit drier, I thought, at least it's going to be a little bit drier when I go back out. It's a torrential downpour, it's the worst visibility I've seen. So when you've done a few laps, you can sort of guess where the track is. That wasn't so bad. But we've got some consistent times in now, so I did my first stint, and then I opted to come in a little bit early because the safety car went out, so it buys you a bit of time back because it becomes like a free pit stop. So you refuel at that point, and then the second driver, Saeed, he's out now circulating consistent times. For a 24-hour race, to finish first you must finish, right? So it's about just being consistent and not letting things break or go wrong. Hopefully that's our bad luck out of the way now.
They were not the only team to suffer early problems in the afternoon downpour. Hollis Motorsport caused the first safety car period, stopping on the run down to the bomb hole after an engine failure. Four hours into the race, last year's winners, KT Racing held the lead ahead of the only other car on the lead lap, Crises at Tete Rouge. Early leaders Team Lion had slipped back to third a lap down. Elsewhere, SL Racing was showing strongly in eighth. The Lions' Hangsgroth car was settling into a recovery drive, but 23 laps back from the front in 16th place. Last year, the Dillegaff car placed on the podium. After a difficult start, the team was progressing well.
It's going all right after all the trials and the tribulations of testing and qualifying and all the things that went wrong there. It seems to be doing all right. Obviously, it's benefited us with a long first stint. I think running lean at the moment and might suffer when it warms up tomorrow and that lot. But if it does, then we're prepared to just make it a change. But yeah, going all right.
How was it in the rain?
Sean was out. I'll get Sean to come over and he can talk to you about Sean.
He's going to be 2 minutes.
He's going to be 2 minutes. Yeah, I remember Sean was out there and he said the car's good to drive when it's full. As soon as it gets very light on the fuel, it's a bit of a handful at the moment, God knows what. But yes, all going well so far.
That's great.
Long way to go.
You haven't been throwing spanners at anything? Then,
No spanners, no misfits yet. There's time, because as we all know in 24-hour racing, so much can go wrong, and it often does.
Are you expecting anything to change as the weather is expected to gradually improve? Any sort of changes
I think obviously the fuel stint won't be anywhere near as long, and also as we sort of progress, when you first set off from the flag, you can pick up a toe and sit in the toe for a long time, and you can save fuel, a lot of fuel by just doing that. Now all the pit stops are happening, you're going to find times when you're sat on your own, so you're going to be burning more fuel and everything like that. So I expect pit stops from now will probably come down to about 2.5 hours tops, somewhere around there. But apart from that, I'm hoping we have no issues.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I had a few, as the car was getting lighter towards the end of the stint, I had a couple of offs. It was a bit harder to control with no weight on the back end, so we had a couple of offs towards the last sort of 15 minutes.
So, I mean, what especially during the first couple of hours, is it just sort of survival out there?
Yeah, I think really it's just it's a case of the first couple of laps, just get to understand where the grip is on the track, not get into any trouble with other vehicles, and just try and progress from there, if you know what I mean. Not get into trouble or anything, I'd say. So.
And is it getting easier now, or is it? I mean, we've lost the big rain, but it's still damp out there.
Still damp, still greasy, yeah. It's still still not flat out everywhere like it would be normally. It's just a matter of time now. Hopefully if the sun just comes up for the last part of the day, we'll try it off a bit before night time. But as the cars keep circulating, we should hopefully start to get dry line there and start to get some quicker time going.
Elsewhere, the SL racing team are enjoying a strong start, running inside the top 10 in class.
So I started the stint for LCE Racing. Took the start in heavy rain, but stable. But then later on, I don't know what it was like in the pit lane, but there was some rather heavy spats. Visibility was terrible. It was dangerous stuff. It was all right in the end. Cleaned up a bit. We managed to get a nearly 2.5 hour stint in, and came in 7, I think, time.
So more going forwards than going sideways.
A certain amount of going sideways, but some of it less controlled, some of it intentional. And I do like to get a little bit of oversteer into the corner to take the load out the front tyres and let them concentrate on driving the car forwards. But that needs good balance and predictable conditions. It was a bit unpredictable with the changing rain. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, in one of the transient conditions, I was coming around Coram and into the last corner, and I just got it too sideways. By the time I picked it back up, my momentum was off track, not on track. So I did actually run over the track limit sensor. That's one tick in our naughty box. I think you only get 3 before you get a stop and go.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty tight on track limits here.
Even if you're having a crash?
Doesn't matter. Stay on the black stuff. Yeah, there was some orange Orby thing for a moment over there.
And is that going to change about how you set things up at all? Or
Normally no, but in this case, yeah, we got adjustable dampers on. Some people don't, but on this car we do. So during the morning testing, we did soften the rear dampers a bit and lower the tyre pressures. But it's we can raise the tyre pressures in the pit stop whilst being filled. Some of the front tyres. The dampers are just rotating, so as long as you clear the exhaust, we do it all at pit stop when it's dry, and hopefully no lost time.
Come nightfall, KT Racing still lead the way, but Team Lion was close behind. Crises at Tete Rouge had fallen to 6th, 2 laps back. Lion's Hangs Groch had risen to 11th. SL Racing remained in 8th. The Dillegaff entry maintained its 5th position, having earlier fallen to 8th. The night brings its own set of challenges. During Friday night qualifying, the Lions Hangsgroch entry suffered a big accident. Swerving to avoid a stranded competitor, the car spun and impacted rearwards. Mechanics worked through the night to have the car ready for Saturday morning practice.
Yeah, I've not been out yet. It's going to be my first stint now, so I'm the 4th driver out. So,
and the others, what they reported?
I think it's just very slippy. Still looks like wet times at the moment, but hopefully the track will dry out shortly.
So it's sort of very much just keep circulating, don't dump it.
Yeah, exactly. Try not to go off and just keep in the game. Is the strategy. Long way to go.
Broken neck.
One more. No, go on, keep going like that. That's good. Come straight down. Stay back. You're right, mate.
KT Racing, last year's champions, was running in second place deep into the night. but reaching this point required surviving perilous conditions and an early issue.
It was really treacherous. Like, you're like millimetres from crashing every single corner. I nearly managed it a few times.
So, there were no leaving the road.
Yes, there was. I went straight on my second lap. I went straight on after the bridge through the cut through. It wasn't actually because a guy braked really hard in front of me. I then braked, locked up. I was like, oh, let's just go off here. Probably could have made it faster, so I didn't look at the times. And then nearly had a little accident because he got overtook me and then spun immediately. Yeah, it's scary.
It's very hard out there now. I mean, it's just started drizzling again now, but it had been a while since it last rained, and it's very hard on that surface. It's drying, but it's not dry.
Yeah, it's really hard. Obviously, it rained while I was out there, so the circuit was probably wet. And then it was like, I was like, well, it hasn't rained for ages. It must surely be getting dry. And like the tarmac was getting drier, but it wasn't dry. So sometimes I would try like the dry line, and it just wouldn't work. And it only in about the last 15 minutes of my stint did it start, like dry patches start to appear. It just took ages. And then of course when it went dark, you couldn't see what was dry, you just went back to feel it. Yes, that's right. We had, we didn't really have any mechanical problems. What we had was a blocked breather on the fuel tank, so we were getting a vacuum in the tank causing fuel starvation. So it was just a little breather thing that was causing it. Like actually, the car itself was up to that for the race, which was a shame because that would just cost us ages at the start, and then.
At the halfway mark, Team Lion led the way, having taken the lead in the 9th hour, and stretching out the gap to second-placed KT Racing to over a lap. Dillegaff had moved up to 3rd, with SL Racing now in 7th place. Lion Hangsgroth had not made any further progress up the leaderboard and remained 12th in class. Dawn. As the sun rises on a new day, the teams were met by clear skies and a dry track. Having come through the slippery conditions of the nighttime hours, the SL racing car was making good progress despite having suffered suspension problems.
Yeah, so my night stint anyway. Went out. The car initially was great, and I was pulling fast, and I was getting good laps, and great. But then I realised no alternator. The battery warning light was on, the voltage was low. So I gave it a couple of laps. I took the generator was the connection. Nothing. So I came in, turned out there was a broken fan back when the alternator drives off the fan. So that was a stop. And unfortunately we had to put a full fan on with 9 blades, normally trimmer. So that's cost us a bit of time just on track. But then I went out and got some pace and got some tow someone into the first corner. Nice high-speed, overspeed entry if you like. Massive vibration in the front, it felt like. So the point I actually came off track. I went far into the field, but by the time I come round and rejoin, I was past the 300-metre braking marker for the next corner. We've had this before with overheated dampers, and you can sort of drive around it to some extent, the way you enter the corners, lift off and overrun into it and then work it. So I thought, sod it, I'll continue the stint, push on the best I can. Then when I came into stop, for my scheduled 2.5 hour stop, the got the guys to have a quick look at it while the fuel's going in, and there was a few "oh shit" side comments going out. Turned out the rear damper had broken in two, and the body of the damper was missing, and the push rod was straight on the ground. So I've done practically a whole stint with the rear damper.
How long a fix is that?
Well, to change the damper was quicker than the refuel. So actually it didn't cost us a huge amount of time, just the extra, you've got to move the car into the garage to work on it, so it accumulated for a few minutes, but it didn't cost us much in the end. It would have been nice to have had a damper at the beginning of the stint and maybe made a little bit more time.
Yeah. And if you'd known, or if you'd pitted, is that time lost or gained?
That's a fine call, really is a fine call. If I'm losing a second a lap for 2 hours, that adds up. So maybe I'd have been better off pitting in hindsight. As far as I was concerned, there wasn't anything to do about it if it was overheated damper, so I just carried on.
Last year, the Mr. Schneck Jelly Snake Motorsport experienced a traumatic race, spending more time in the pit lane than out on track. After early gear linkage problems were rectified, the car was running a much improved race.
The night was okay. We broke a shock absorber on the curbs and had to change that, but other than that it's been good. I took the under tray off the last session, which cost us a few laps, but other than that we're still out there and we're putting in some decent times. It was dried out sort of the last session before it got light. It was we had a dry line. But now it's completely dry.
So
yeah.
So still that sort of greasy, not.
Yeah, if you're off the racing line, it's not good still. But if you're on the racing line, you've got plenty of grip. Actually, 2 hours ago, it just started to, like I say, the sun weren't up, but it was not dusk because that's in the evening, but the opposite, And it was a bit awkward when the sun actually did come up when you go under the bridge, because you go from the shadow to the sun straight in your eyes, but it's only for a split second, and you just hope you've turned in at the right place.
KT Racing was still in second position, but now 2 laps behind Team Lion as the sun rose up in the sky on Sunday morning. Dillegaff Racing remained in third, 8 laps back. SL Racing exited the night hours in 6th. Despite requiring a towback costing 3 laps in penalties, Lions Hans Groch was circulating in 10th.
So greasy and slippery. It was just trying to stay on the track most of the time and nearly falling off it at every corner. It was absolutely treacherous. Because it wasn't full wet. When it's full wet, it's not so bad, but because it was just really slowly drying out, it was greasy. It was greasy for my entire stint, and you just turn into a corner and the front end wouldn't grip. Then eventually it would, and then the back end would go. It was just overtaking was really difficult because so people were forcing onto the inside where it was so slippery. You just couldn't go. It's wave. It's just really challenging.
Having won the event in 2023 with a near faultless performance, the car was running similarly this year, until suddenly it wasn't. Just past 9 o'clock, the car pitted and remained in the garage for the next half hour.
It took a while to do it, but no, we got it out fairly sharp. Yeah, twin snails have parked, I think. So they've had issue after issue, but fortunately you're not. That's fingers crossed you're still running. Yeah, hope so. We'll see where we are in How long we got left? What is it, 7 hours or something? 6-ish. 6, oh, all right, it's better than I thought. Okay, thanks very much, thank you. So there we go, that's Hollis Motorsport. Silver Lake is not there, there's no one there at the moment. The 558 car, there's no one there at the moment. Let's have a look at WRC development. Ah, there's Ryan. Ryan, good morning, how are you?
I'm alright, a bit tired.
You been up all night?
No, I haven't been up all night. I've managed to get about 3 hours sleep, which is enough.
We've got to just step out here for a second. Who's in the car at the moment?
Mike, I think Mike's out in the car. Yeah, so I think he's due to come in any minute.
Well, for some time we had like bearing chatter when releasing the clutch, and we just thought, well, we'll just have to see how it goes. It turns out what the issue was the spigot part on the engine was worn. That was eventually caused loss of oil on the gearbox. So Carl came in, lifted the bonnet for a pit stop. There was no gearbox on everywhere. So we decided to change gearbox, but the same back into back in. We had some issues with the bleeder brake as well. Sent it back out, and then started to think about what the cause of the problem might be. Concluded it probably was a spigot bearing reason without now so he's done 5 laps, and the same issue has started to reappear in the form of a misfiring engine because the air filter is quite within gearbox. So we've changed it.
Anyone who knows who's in 33? Right.
Though one of the 2 Lions cars had experienced several setbacks, its sister car, the number 97, had run almost flawlessly and had led the 2CV field for much of the race. But as the morning progressed, plumes of smoke exited the car.
7th, and let me see how many laps they did. 5, 3, 4. They had 7 laps in advance.
Oh, 20 seconds just by that as I walked past. 358 has just gone up. And spoiler in for a spot of fuel and attention to the front of the engine. Now this is thank you.
What's going on?
Okay, thanks very much. There we go, we've got 558. That's the Gen 2 car, isn't it? What else are we looking for, Tony?
Well, we're looking for his teammate, 458, which is right down at the bottom, so I'm not even sure. It says they've gone past.
No, thing, 458. Let's have we'll go back in there. So who's running 458?
It's Robin Welsh.
Robin Welsh. So we confirm 1 from 3 on that with Womble. Unfortunately, there's no one from the team that can tell. I'll come a little further down the lane. See if I can find who's in the French or the Belgian car. Back to you, Tony.
Okay. The only C1 that we need apart from that was the 343. Who's in that? That's another E-Max car. The 343, which is actually lying in 3rd place now. So that's quite important. Quite important.
E-Max, Silver Max cars come in. Someone's rigged up a
door.
Yeah, so they know when someone's coming in, they run so many cars. That's it. So the other one is the 420, you say, isn't it?
420, which is running as 585.
Okay, I'll start again.
Yeah, that's the Cock Womble's car, which is in 5th position. Some 30 laps behind the leaders, but obviously in the top 5, so not doing too badly. Mike Harris at the wheel, but Ryan Bent.
We're not analog down to C1s, mate. We are very much on spreadsheet. Salt, bank, yeah, so we're just sheets down here. Yeah, which was the gap, wasn't it? So, wow, this is going to be tight. This is tight, isn't it? How long we got to run it? Look at that.
That's weight saving, that is.
It's quite bad. I'm not supposed to be able to see that bit. That's usually...
That's the secret bit.
That's the secret sauce, isn't it?
Yeah, we had a pretty good stint just then. Kept it clean, and then we just kept pushing on. Got a few good like tows off other cars. Pulled us around for a little while, and then once I saw the 97 car with an engine issue coming to the pits, it's time to get the hammer down and see if we could catch up a little bit, which we got within a lap. We had to come into a pit stop to run out of fuel. Now we've got James back out there, currently drafting with the gadget car. Hopefully he can give us a good push and get us closer to the P1. Oh yeah, sun's out, it's good. Lap times are consistent and good, so just keep pushing till the end now. Keep our nose clean, stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Keep pushing it.
And can you beat Lions on pace, or is it you need them to hit trouble again?
I'm not sure. I've not looked at what their pace is since they've changed the engine, to be fair. Assuming it's their second engine, it's not got as much power as their first engine or their preferred engine, so if we can keep nicking a few seconds each, every half hour or so, it might just help us claw them back in, but we'll see where we are.
Sounds good, yeah.
After various mechanical maladies, KT Racing had dropped 20 laps behind Team Lion in third. Having escaped any major delays of its own, Dillegaff was only 2 laps behind the leader. SL Racing was now in fifth, comfortably ahead of the recovering Lions Hangsgroch car in sixth. Despite its late morning engine disintegration, the 97 Team Lion car won by 3 laps ahead of Dillegaff Racing. Crisis at Tete Rouge completed the podium. SL Racing, having never finished higher than 10th, achieved its best finish in 4th. After running at near the front for most of the race, KT Racing fell back to 5th. Despite its early problems and nighttime engine change, the 79 Lions car kept out of trouble and rose to finish in 6th place. Mr. Schneck Jelly Snake Motorsport may have come home in 17th, but the team largely stayed out of the garage and completed over 600 laps.